Hello and welcome to Plus TV Africa. I'm Lakwe Banjo with the news on the hour. 3 members of the Joint Task Force were killed by suspected herdsmen near the Otukpo area of Benue State on Wednesday night. According to reports, the corpses of 2 soldiers and 1 policeman were mercilessly butchered with parts of their bodies chopped off. Their remains were on Thursday deposited at the mortuary of the Otukpo General Hospital. There is yet to be a briefing by the police public relations officer of the state. In a related development, 2 people were killed and 29 others injured as suspected herdsmen attacked Bear Village in Numan local government area of Adamawa State on Wednesday. The victims were said to have been attacked on their farms while their villages were set ablaze. Chairman of the Numan local government, Reverend Arnold Ijibla, urged people not to take laws into their own hands as security agencies were in control of the situation. The councillor representing Bear Council Ward, who was also a victim, said the violence was unprovoked and as residents were attacked as they tried to chase cattle belonging to Fulani herdsmen from their farmland. Chairman of the Hunters Association, Nasarawa Demsa and Numan branch, has called on the state government to make provisions for vehicles to respond quickly and tackle the invasion of the village. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission and the Independent and Corrupt Practices Commission have the legal power to try any individual or authority for graft in the country. This was the ruling of a federal high court in Sokoto on Wednesday in a case filed by the Sokoto state government seeking to restrain the ICPC and EFCC from investigating, arresting or prosecuting any official of the state government. The ruling by Justice S.K. Idris added that both anti-graft agencies have been so empowered by an Act of Parliament to perform the prosecution duties in all 26 states of Nigeria, Sokoto State Attorney General Sulaiman Usman had approached the court on behalf of the state government seeking a declaration and injunction. Justice Idris ruled that the Federal High Court must abide by the ruling of the Supreme Court in AG Ondo versus AG Federation, which upheld the constitutionality of both ICPC and EFCC acts being applicable and binding on all in Nigeria, including Sokoto State. 70-year-old Boluwaji Adenuga has reportedly committed suicide at Ore town in Odigbo local government area of Ondo State. The late Adenuga reportedly shot himself with a Dane gun on Tuesday after returning from hunting wildlife on his farm. According to eyewitnesses, an argument had ensued between the deceased and one of his daughters, after which he rushed into the room, locked the door and shot himself. Neighbors had to break the door to gain access into the room and found him in a pool of blood. The State Police Public Relations Officer Femi Joseph confirmed the incident, stating that further investigations will be carried out on the incident. And join us after our quick break. And welcome back from the break. Thank you for joining us. On the foreign scene, 5 people have reportedly been killed after a chartered plane crashed into a construction site in Mumbai today. The plane, with 4 on board, including the pilot, was about to land at the airport when it crashed in Ghatkopar. Reports say 2 bodies have so far been pulled out by firemen, and in images posted on Twitter, flames and black smoke were seen rising from the wreckage. A large crowd gathered around the debris. The 12-seater plane was reportedly delivered to the government in 1995, while several fire engines and ambulances are currently at the site. 3 people, including 2 police officers, have been killed in the Indonesian province of Papua after alleged separatists shot at boats carrying voters and officials who had voted in the local elections. 6 years after Dutch colonial rule, Indonesia took control of the eastern province of Papua, following a widely criticized and globally supported referendum in 1969. Widodo is expected to run again for the presidency in 2019 against retired General Prabowo Subianto, who was narrowly defeated in the presidential vote of 2014. Indonesia had been on high alert for violence as elections are being held across the world's biggest Muslim-majority country. The incident comes just days after another shooting at a tiny airport in Papua, where 3 people were killed and a child was injured. The election for that district also had to be postponed due to the violence. Reports of a fire which started in the early hours of today at the Gikomba market have confirmed at least 15 people dead. According to the Nairobi Central Police Chief, Robinson Tuku, as many as 70 have been identified as injured as the fire raged through the market, burning over 1,000 yards of timber. The fire, which started at about 2 a.m. close to the Kamkunji area, has left many buildings destroyed in its wake. The fire has been contained to a large proportion, while the victims are currently receiving treatment. The Russian and American governments came to an agreement on Wednesday to hold a summit soon between their presidents in a deal likely to worry some US allies and Trump critics in the US. Details of the summit, including the time and place, will be announced later today. And Trump has said that their meeting would likely take place between July the 11th and July the 12th, of which the NATO summit will have the leaders attend. Yuri Ushakov, Kremlin foreign policy aide, said the summit would likely take place in a mutually convenient third country, and several more weeks were needed to prepare for it. President Trump said that the Helsinki was a possible site, whilst other Russian officials said they were pushing for the summit to be in the Australian capital of Vienna. And join us after we take this quick break. Welcome back. And in business, the federal government is planning to borrow about $2.8 billion to fund the budget deficit of the just-passed 2018 budget. Director General of the Debt Management Office, Patience Oniha, disclosed this while speaking to Reuters on Wednesday. She said all options will be explored with an objective to extend the tenure of the debt stock and lower costs. However, she did not provide any further details. When the 2017 budget was passed, the federal government used a number of debt instruments, which including saving bonds, Eurobond, Green Bond, and others to fund the budget deficit. The Guinean finance minister yesterday confirmed that the International Monetary Fund has approved $24 million for Guinea to support the economy of the West African nation. The nation, whose economy in recent times has been hit by low global commodity prices, reached a deal with the IMF in December, providing access to $650 million in non-consensual borrowing under a 3-year extended credit facility, which will run from 2017 to 2020. The major aim of the program is to assist the country to boost spending on infrastructure to enhance the production of aluminium or bauxite, as the nation is the top producer of the resource. Finance Minister Mamadi Camara, in a statement, said that the credit would help the West African country to secure other budgetary support, which includes $50 million from the World Bank and $23.16 million from the European Union. And Tokumbo is up next with the entertainment news.
In entertainment, hip-hop mogul Damon Dash has launched a $5 million breach of contract lawsuit against filmmaker Lee Daniels over the profits to a planned Richard Pryor biopic. Damon and Lee settled their differences in 2015, but according to reports, Dash was promised co-executive producing credit on the biopic, which starred celebrities like Oprah Winfrey, Eddie Murphy, Mike Epps, Kate Hudson, and a few others. In 2014, Dash sued Daniel for $25 million, claiming he loaned the filmmaker $2 million in 2004 in exchange for the rights to film Precious and Lee Daniels, The Butler, and of the most popular serials Empire. But he insisted he's not yet received any profits. Daniel, however, insists he's not holding up to his end of the agreement and is failing to fill him in on any production aspects of the film. For damages and a co-executive producer's credit, Damon Dash is seeking $5 million. Floyd Mayweather, who was reported to have bought an $18 million watch on a diamond-encrusted Jacob & Co. wristwatch, has been called a fool by rapper 50 Cent. 50 Cent took to his Instagram page to shade the boxing champion. Rapper Kanye West has allegedly sold his Soho apartment, which he purchased in 2004, to a neighbor. The Soho apartment became the rapper's Big Apple refuge, which he purchased for $3.14 million and spent another $3 million renovating the space. It hasn't been confirmed how much he's selling the apartment for, but it was reported that he has handed the keys to a neighbor who lives in the same building. Keeping up with the Kardashian star, Kris Jenner has asked if she can be Cardi B's midwife when she goes into labor later this month. Kris Jenner commented on a video Cardi B posted on social media with her baby bump on display. The Kardashian momager may not be a qualified midwife, but she's certainly experienced when it comes to guiding people through labor, as she was there in the delivery room when her daughters all gave birth to their babies: Kim Kardashian West, Kourtney Kardashian, and Kylie Jenner. Cardi B is yet to respond to the request. And that's it on entertainment. It's back to Lakbe for the sports news.
Thanks to Kumbo. And in sport, Brazil have avoided a shock by defeating Serbia to finish top of Group E and book a last 16 tie against Mexico. Paulinho and Thiago Silva had deservedly given Brazil the win. The result ended the hopes of Serbia to qualify from the group stage for the first time, while Brazil now head to Samara, where their last 16 tie will take place on Monday against Mexico, as group winners, having topped Group E over Switzerland on goal difference. Serbian midfielder Dusan Tadic has agreed a deal to join Dutch Eredivisie giants Ajax Amsterdam from Southampton. Tadic has signed a 4-year deal in a deal reportedly worth £18 million. He will complete his move to Ajax when the transfer window officially opens on the 1st of July. Dusan Tadic joined Premier League side Southampton in 2014 from the Dutch side FC Twente for £10.9 million and went on to score 23 goals in 162 appearances for the club. The attacker, who is currently with Serbia at the ongoing FIFA World Cup tournament in Russia, had earlier signed a 4-year extension with the Saints in 2016. He has, however, decided to move back to the Netherlands, despite the fact that he still has 2 years left on his contract. Southampton's first-choice goalkeeper Alex McCarthy has signed a new 4-year contract at the club, and the 28-year-old joined the Saints from Reading in 2016 and went on to make just 2 cup appearances in his first season. He kept 7 clean sheets in 18 appearances after he replaced Fraser Foster as the club's first-choice goalkeeper. His performances were crucial as Southampton escaped relegation from the Premier League on the last day of last season. And that's the news at this hour. I'm Lakwe Banjo. Do have a great afternoon.